let's do a quick one. Today's my daughter's birthday, so we're a little busy today, but I'm going to get this one done, and then hopefully Tuesday and Thursday I'll be able to get a whole bunch of these out. I'm hoping to really get through the play in the next week or two, and I'm going to forego the PowerPoint that I did last time because this seems really short. So let's get to it. You got three people. This is Act 2, Scene 6. You got three people involved. We've got Romeo the friar, who are already there when the scene begins. They're at the friar's cell, at the church, and they're about to go in and get married. The friar is going to perform the wedding rites, the ceremony. Okay. The friar says a few words. Juliet shows up. A few more words. They go off to get married and scene. Like, that's literally it. I'll talk about the significance at the end of the video, but let's just read through it. So Friar Lawrence starts by talking to Romeo, and he says, "So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not." I hope that the heavens smile upon this wedding, this marriage, so that horrible things don't happen afterward, in after hours, right? There's sorrow does not make fun of us or laugh at us. Romeo says, "Amen, amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight." It doesn't matter what sorrow does. If I have a minute to look at her, it'll counteract anything sorrow can do. Now, this is a little bit of dramatic irony because we know what horrible things are going to happen, so he may change his mind later, right? Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love, devouring death, do what he dare. It is enough. I may but call her mine. I don't care if death kills me. I don't care what happens. As long as I'm married to her, that's all that matters. He's quite love struck. Friar Lawrence responds, "These violent delights have violent ends." Not that what Romeo is saying is violent, but it's very emotional. It's very charged, right? So be careful, because when you're so emotional about something, that can end problematically. "And in their triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume." They end very quickly. They fizzle up like fire. Right? The sweetest honey is loathsome, in his own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately. It doesn't matter how sweet something is. If you eat too much of it, it'll give you a stomachache. So love is the same way, he's saying. If you do it too quickly or too much, or you're too excited about it, it'll hurt you. Long love doth so, too swift arrives as tardy. As tardy is too slow. It's just as bad. Going too quick is just as bad as getting here too late. So here comes Juliet, and the friar continues. "Here comes the lady, oh, so light of foot, will ne'er wear out the everlasting flint. A lover may bestride the gossamers that idles in wanton summer air, and yet not fall, so light is vanity." So light of foot will ne'er wear out the everlasting flint. If you walk lightly, this will last a long time, right? Juliet says, "Good evening, even to my ghostly confessor." Apparently he's not looking too well. Friar Lawrence says, "Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both." Like, I'll let Romeo speak for us. "As much to him, else his thanks too much." And Romeo says, "Ah, Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, then sweeten with my breath this neighbor air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear account." He's very excited. If you have as much joy as me, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air. let's make this sweet, and the neighbor, of course, is the friar. Um, he's basically saying, I'm hopefully you're as excited about this as I am. This is awesome. Let's go do it. Right. Unfold the imagined happiness that both receive. Yeah. Let's receive all of the happiness that this is going to bring us. Juliet says, conceit, more rich in matter, than in words, brags of his substance, not ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love is grown to such excess, I cannot sum up. I cannot sum up some of half my wealth. Um, yeah, how much I love you is so much greater than anything I can say in words. Words are just an ornament, but my true love has grown to such an excess. I can't even tell you how much I love you, half of how much I love you, right? So then Friar Lawrence ends the scene with, come with me, and we shall make short work, for by your leaves you shall not stay alone till Holy Church incorporate two in one. So, all right, you two lovers saying all these lovely things to each other, let's go get you married. And by the time we're done, you're now going to be joined as one, right? You're not going to be two separate people. You're going to be joined in marriage. Okay, so what's the significance of this? Well, first of all, we need a transition scene from Act 2 to Act 3, right? By the time we get to Act 3, we need to know that they're married. So we're not going to go through all the marriage ceremony rites and all that stuff. They're just going to have a little conversation, and by the time we get to Act 3, we know they're married. Okay, but there is a theme here, and it's mostly spoken by Friar Lawrence at the beginning when he says, violent delights have violent ends, like, love moderately, slow down, like relax. This has been a theme that we've seen throughout the play. As much as we're supposed to believe that these two are in love and they truly do love each other, although that's interpretational, and I think it depends on how the actors sell it. There is quite a bit of, Friar Lawrence has said several times, like, you're moving too fast. How can you already have forgotten this other woman that you loved for so long? Is this really true love? There's a lot of questions about that. He's not giving answers, but Shakespeare is not ignoring the fact that these two got together really fast. So I think there's something we should pay attention, that Shakespeare is suggesting that this possibly there is another side to this. It may not be just this perfect love story. It could be that, these two are just moving too fast and they're silly kids. I tend to feel like he puts it much more weight on the fact that these two really love each other. And every version I've seen, whether it be film or, play, it's supposed to be, they show it as a love story, of two people really loving each other. But I think it's important to note that Shakespeare does present the other side and does say, hey, you might be going too fast. This might be a little crazy. And that's it. So we've got all the rising action. We're heading towards conflict, right? These two are now married. We know that Tybalt wants to fight Romeo to the death. So that's going to come up in Act 3, Scene 1. Act 3, Scene 1 begins the conflict very quickly, and it escalates it very, very quickly. So I hope you stay tuned. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll have, maybe Act 3 done or something to that effect. But stick with it. I'll keep these coming. Yeah, I hope you're well. See you.